Hi, my name's Scott, owner of Wizard Trees at one of the cultivations that I own in Los Angeles. Yeah, we're here to talk about, some of the things that we're running genetic-wise, nutrients and lighting. So I got started in cannabis cultivation when I was 14. I loved weed. I was always trying to find the best strains. I was on a hunt going to different medical dispensaries with some of my older friends, just trying to find the best genetics possibly. So at a certain point, about 19, started to get interested in cultivation and say, hey, instead of like buying this, it'd be a lot cooler to try and figure out how to do this on my own. Got together with some friends, built out a house, and bought a few different packs of seeds, and started trying to figure it out. I think a huge part of what makes Wizard Trees unique from the rest is we have an in-house breeding program where we do all of the genetics in-house. We pheno hunt everything, we grow everything, we do all the branding. There's not many companies out there that do that and then have a specific palette to be able to select those phenotypes. Our sales director, Carlos, came up with a super clever slogan called "From Garden to Grinder." The main reason we do that is we do everything from start to finish, and not many companies can say that. It's like from farm to table, but in cannabis. And there's a small group of us, I would say, it's me and my partner on the genetics. We're the ones that can really pinpoint what flavors and tastes that we really like. It's not really something you can teach, it's just years of experience and going through thousands and thousands of different plants and smoking thousands and thousands of joints. I'm able to see what the market likes and what they respond to, and then able to breed into things that the market likes. A buddy that I started growing with back in the day, he was the one that actually came up with it, and he's like, I think this is a great idea. You're the wizard of trees, you're trying to like come out with like the best flower, best genetics, like you're like a wizard,
Yeah.
Like, and then tree being cannabis. Like, all right, that's it. I mean, it's gone from more of like a labor intensive to now there's technology to monitor everything. So you're using more of your brain, and you're able to scale much easier than before. Before it was like, seeing things that you saw on the internet, you're like, that looks like a good idea, let's try that. Now there's a lot more experience and a lot more to like follow, and understanding of the plant and what does what and why we do what. I do think irrigation strategy, nutrients, and genetics are the three huge points. This spot is dialed in across the board between the nutrients, the under canopy, the environment, being able to monitor all of those things. I think they all play a huge part. A huge part of being able to like monitor environmentals and substrate sensors has been like a huge part of what we do. When I get home at night, I go through all the graphs. I'm able to fire irrigations if there's certain zones that are too dry. I'm able to change irrigations from anywhere. So if we're on a trip in Florida at the flowery, I'm able to go through and double check everything and make sure that everything's on point. We needed to keep moving on genetics and move at a faster pace, so we brought it in-house. So our genetics program, we constantly have pheno hunts in our flower rooms where we're taking up space and wasting money on finding new strains consistently in every room. And HGVs played a huge role in finding the best genetics that we can, because we're able to run the same EC all the way through flower, and the whole room crushes across the board. We don't have to change things for certain strains. We select our strains based off of what the genetics like nutrient-wise. I personally have pretty damn bad asthma where I can't breathe very well. If it doesn't taste good and it's not enjoyable to smoke on, I wouldn't smoke weed. So that was like one thing that I've always tried to like find personally for me, is something that has like a great flavor that is enjoyable while I'm smoking it. been running HCV nutrients for about 3 years. I've tried a handful of different nutrients with my time growing, and they're just not as clean. The product that I grow, I never go after yield. It's always been after, the best flavor and terpene strains, right? And HCV's always expressed my genetics to the full potential. You see from like top to bottom how it has like a nice round shape. There's not a ton of leaf. The plant has like a fat stalk on it. It's just a nice healthy plant. It grows easily. It has a great terp profile. These are two strains that passed the smoke test about 3 months ago, and now they're in full production. Even if it's the smallest, weakest plant, we try and give it a chance to see what type of terp profile or flavor comes out on the smoke. Trying to figure out if it's something that we can use in a future breeding project where it's like, hey, maybe this isn't good for production, but we can work it into a later breeding program where we can get that terp profile with something that yields better, Usually you always look at the plants that have the best structure and biggest nugs, and you're like, oh, this is the one, this is gonna be the moneymaker. But those ones, even the frostiest plants usually don't have a very good terp profile, and they're very bland when you're smoking. They don't have a good flavor. That's never something that we're looking for. So this right here is one of our Pheno hunts that we have going on right now. It's Limelight times Black Magic and New Yorker times Black Magic. It's two of our main strains crossed to each other. These are our main staple strains for wizard trees being grown on HGV nutrients with Phaven under canopy lights. Usually we'll go through 100 phenos at a time. It gets brutal after a while. This last pheno hunt that we did, it was a bunch of different Black Magic crosses, crossed to like all of our main bangers that we've ran over the last few years, and we smoked 20 joints a day for 4 days straight. And like, after about 10, you're so useless. And people are like, oh, it's such a tough job. And it's, after a certain point, it starts to get tough to tell what's different from each other, right? So like, we'll go through, we'll smoke a bunch, we'll put off the keepers that we like to the side, then we'll go back through and select the ones that we put off to the side and smoke those side by side. When you're smoking them side by side, you can really see the flavor of those different phenotypes on just which one ends up being the keeper. Something that we did on the last one, we had a bunch of Wizzy Black Magic crosses where, all of them tasted amazing, everything smelled great. And we pinpointed like 4 out of 50 where we're like, all right, these ones all smoked good over the 5 days that we did this. And it was crazy because there's one pheno that we're calling the Michael Jordan pheno right now because it's number 23. And we put that side by side next to everything else, and that blew everything out of the water. If it doesn't smell good, if it doesn't grow good, if it doesn't fit like the criteria that we have during flower, we don't even like smoke it in the next process. It doesn't even make it to the next step really. We'll usually select the ones that we like growing. So the way that the plant grows, the terp profile, all of that, and those will be the first ones that we'll go through and smoke after. Then we'll go through everything else and see if we missed anything. Usually, there's always something in there where it's like, damn, this yielded like shit, but it smells amazing and it smokes great, but it's tough to put into production.